Well, hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back and I have an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about some of my favorite pieces of gear that I took with me in my 2018 overnighters. And this gear is not in any particular order or anything like that. It's just some of my favorite choices that I made and things like that. Number one, it's always good to have a cotton bandana. One thing that you guys probably noticed is in my overnighter, in every single one of them for 2018, I had a chamois, and I also took a bandana. These two items were more than effective. You know, they were worth packing, is what I'm saying. I guess we could move on to the next items that I thought was significantly important. That was my knives. And I used a bunch of different knives, but I brought a few models to show you. This one here is the Charade SCHF 56. It also comes with the ferro rod. So this knife is 1095 steel. It is a very solid knife, a very inexpensive knife, but I use this thing a lot, and I beat the crap out of it. It's got a nice sharp 90-degree spine here for striking a ferro rod or processing tinder or things like that. So this was a good choice. It's a full tang knife, and again, it's good steel. So bandana and knife. Another knife that I really liked that I used, and not all of these things that I'm showing you, not all of these things are items that I showed in the videos. They might have been things that I used off camera and not made it to the final cut, you know, in the video, because I do so much video editing. But along the lines of knives comes the Mora Garberg, and right here you can see I have a stainless steel Mora Garberg, phenomenal knife. Again, it's a full tang knife. And also I have the carbon steel Mora Garberg with the custom sheath made by my very good friend Country Prepper. This is a really nice Kydex sheath. He knows what I like. He puts a ferro rod on there, he puts a cordage wrap, and he puts a tinder box. Just an excellent knife. So those knives worked out really good, but my favorite knife that I used in my 2018 overnighters was by far the Becker BK7. This knife has been my go-to. It's just phenomenal. When I got the knife from the factory, the spine wasn't real sharp, so I took a grinder to that. I know that sounds crude, and I didn't do it where the blade got hot because I didn't want to mess with the tempering of the blade. But I just hit the blade a little bit, you know, and I'd let it cool down, and then I'd hit it again until I got that nice sharp spine. This knife, it's so sharp, and it's just such a good knife. A Kydex sheath with it, really, this is a good item. Becker BK7, phenomenal knife. Another item that I used quite frequently was the Bako Laplander saw. I don't have it with me, but I do have another saw that I used, and that is the Silky Big Boy 2000. This saw has been used so much this year, and it's still razor sharp. I mean, I've cut all kinds of stuff. This is a saw that's made in Japan, and I'm telling you folks, they know what they're doing over there. This is a phenomenal product. Same thing with the Bako Laplander. That is a smaller saw, but it works very, very good, and I use this a lot in the overnighters. The next thing, and again, no particular order, Next item that was really successful on and off camera was the Rolling Fox tarp. For those of you who have watched the overnighters, you may have seen in some of the overnighters I had a friend with me. His name is Justin. I learned about this tarp from him, and it's a phenomenal tarp. In fact, I liked it so much I bought another one. So I have two of these. I have this one and then I have a green one as well. But these tarps are nice. They're a good material. They hold up. We never got wet or anything like that under this tarp. It's a good size. And you know, I really enjoyed using this tarp. One thing that comes to mind right now is camera gear. I used a Sony, the same camera I'm filming with right now. It's a Sony Handycam HD. So high definition Sony Handycam. I use that a lot. I use the SJ Cam, the SJ4000 model. And then I use the SJ Cam, the SJ5000 model, the 5000X. And then I use the Gopro Hero 7. Hero 4 Silver Edition, sorry. I'm thinking about the 7 for my 2019 overnighters. I got that camera on my mind. So those are the cameras that I used, and they worked great. As far as cooking, you know, the cooking gear, I used a wide variety of cooking pots. This is the Comfort Loft pot, which is currently unavailable, but this is a good pot. It's very similar to the MSR Alpine pot. Stainless steel, holds up like a champ. Very good pot. I use that quite a bit. The next pot that I used quite often was the Zebra, and I think I showed that in one of my videos. The Zebra pot is available. This one is nice because it has a smaller pan inside, so it's along the same lines as the MSR Alpine, but when you take the lid off, you can take this inner pan or bowl if you want to eat out of this. But what I liked doing is I like putting water in here and then putting this in there and letting the water boil and then putting my eggs in there. You can't burn your eggs, it's impossible. And I did that off camera quite a bit, so that was pretty cool. And of course you got a nice lid there, and this is just a really nice pot. I use it all the time on these trips and stuff. So that's the Zebra pot. Another pot that I really liked was the Stanley. This one is not the prep and cook set. This is the I think they call it the cook and store kit or something like that. Cook and store set. It's the one that comes with the 3 little plastic containers and then the 1 bigger container inside. I don't have those containers in here right now because I have a Pocket Rocket 2 stove by MSR right here and a fuel canister. I really like that stove. MSR has been really good with me. That Pocket Rocket 2 is just a phenomenal stove. In fact, I got a new MSR stove coming that I'm going to be doing a review on here in the near future. Can't really say too much about it yet, but I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to be pretty cool. Along the lines of stoves, I used the Optimus Polaris a lot this year, and this thing is just an amazing stove. I also use the MSR Whisperlight Universal. That's a phenomenal stove too. But this one, I can tell you honestly that I took this one out more frequently than I did with the MSR Whisperlight Universal, simply because of the simplicity of this stove. You can change fuel types without changing jets, and to me that was a big plus. So I kept noticing that I was grabbing that one. As far as cooking, okay, we're still on the lines of cooking. The Stanley, what do they call that? Adventure Camp Cook Set, I think is what this is called. You can find these at Walmart for like 14 bucks. They have the 2 green cups inside, and then right next to it in the sporting goods section at Walmart, they have these little, I think they're 18-ounce stainless steel cups for like 4 or 5 bucks. So with a bandana in there, that makes a perfect nesting system for this, and I use this quite frequently. In fact, this works good with the small, like Pocket Rocket type stoves, heating up water, heating up coffee, making oatmeal, stuff like that. So that was something that was pretty significant. You know, I was talking about cameras earlier, and I failed to mention this one. This one didn't really show any footage, but I did take a game camera with me, and to be honest, I don't even know what the brand is on this one. It's not a Blaze video camera. It's a different company, but this camera worked good. I just didn't have any footage that I captured during the overnighters that was worth cutting into the video, so all that footage got scrapped. But you know, I was hoping for like a big old mean monster, you know, that I could capture on video, but never happened. So, but this thing works good, so I used that. Back to the cooking system and water bottles and storage. Again, Nalgene type bottle with a stainless steel nesting cup and lid. I use this a lot. You can see that this is kind of disc-shaped. This got out of shape because I put a lot of boiling hot water in there, and I closed the lid when the water was boiling, so it kind of created a vacuum, I guess. But this has been a good water bottle, and this nesting cup. In fact, the overnighter that comes to mind is the one where I went out to my land, and I used this to cook my food out there. So this was a good option. And along the lines of water storage or water drinking, you can never go wrong with a Nalgene wide mouth water bottle. And I used a few different options of those, but again, you know, a Nalgene wide mouth BPA free water bottle, the plastic is really hard and they worked really good. Now let's see, what else do I have here? As far as fuel, I just used fuel canisters that I refill myself at home, and so you know, these are refilled. I use propane when I refill them, and they have the Lindell valve, and that worked out pretty good for me. Cordage that I used quite often was just old beat up paracord, different colors, and I would cut different lengths, and then when I would take my shelter down or whatever, I would tie the pieces together with fisherman's knots, and that was the cordage that I used. I kept throwing that hank of cordage, the same one, in my bag every month, and you know, here it is at the end of the year. It worked out great. As far as utensils are concerned, the Sea to Summit or the Tokes spoons and the MSR spoon and fork. So you've got the Sea to Summit right here, then you've got the Tokes spoon, Sea to Summit spork, the MSR fork, and the MSR spoon. So those were pretty much the only utensils that I used this year. Excuse me, they all worked great. I never had any problems. I tend to notice that I used I think it was this Tokes spoon more than anything. That thing's just, why I use that more, I don't know, but I did. So that was the utensils that I used. Of course, you know, I had my knives, and then I think the one where we used the Princess Peach bag, we had like just a regular fork and spoon that we bought on the cheap for that, but it worked out good. What else do I have in this bag? Okay, right here. This isn't the exact plastic that I have, but this is 9 foot by 12 foot. This is a 0.7 mil, but the plastic that I used was a 2 mil plastic, 9 foot by 7 foot. It worked out like a champ. Okay, so my shelter, that was the plastic I used, not that 0.7. Again, it was 2 mil. Worked out good. My clothing, I used a lot of North Face coats and stuff. This happens to be the North Face Bionic, I think is what they call it. This is a good coat. It doesn't look that warm, but man, I'll tell you, this thing really kept me warm at night when it was cold. When it comes to charging batteries and camera gear and stuff like that, couldn't have done it without my solar panel. This is an Anchor solar panel. You basically unfold it, and there's 3 different panels. When you have the sunlight there, you can see this red indicator in here lights up very bright when you got sunlight. See that? And this is how I was able to charge my cell phone and all my camera gear on my overnighters. Worked very, very effectively. In fact, I have the other one that was made by Easy-Ack, I think is the one that I took on my boat, and I did a video of it. It fell in the water. I think it fell in the water, and I did a video, a follow-up video. That thing still works, but it only has 2 panels. It doesn't charge as fast. So I upgraded and got this one. It charges things much faster, and it worked good. Another item that I took, I have mixed feelings on, and this is for water filtration. This was the Katadyn Be-Free water filter. In the beginning, I loved it. It was fast, it was effective, I never got sick. Okay, this thing would filter 1 liter of water quickly, and I used it a lot. I like the simplicity of the collapsible pouch here, how small it gets. This pouch held up. It's very thin, but I crammed it in and it worked. It never broke down or anything like that. But what I will say is towards the end of the year, and I would have to say maybe September, October, November, this thing really started slowing down to the point where it was almost ridiculous to filter water. So to me, and maybe I had bad experience or something, I did pick up a replacement filter, but I have not put it in yet. I wanted to finish the year out with this one so I could give it a true review, and I can tell you that I'm a little bit disappointed with this filter. They say that you can shake and swish and all that to kind of back flush it, but it's not a Sawyer. That's all I'll say. The Sawyer Squeeze Original, in my opinion, is the best water filter still, and that's the original. They did come out with a new filter by Sawyer. It's called the Sawyer Micro. That one's awesome too. So, but this one works good. I like the interface of how it connects and things like that. I like that small collapsible bottle. It worked good. I never got sick. It was a good experience, but again, like I said, towards the end of the year, it got really slow. I don't know how many gallons these are rated at off the top of my head. I'd have to look that up, but I do like how small they are, and I do like in the beginning of the year, I mean, I put a lot of water through this, and it filtered it fast, very fast. This thing right here, the Hydro Flask or Hydro Pack. This is a 3-liter bag. This thing, big thumbs up from me. Oh my gosh. This 3 liters of water, okay? Because I always say that a person should drink half of their body weight in ounces per day. Okay, so a 200-pound man, which I'm just short of, I'm about 180. So, but let's just say 200 for the simplicity here. A 200-pound person needs to drink about 100 ounces of water per day. So that's 3 liters. That's this bag right here. This bag has impressed me all year. It's been frozen. It's been hung. I've taken paracord and I've hanged this thing in a tree off camera, and it sat there and dripped all day. With filtration, I'm saying. This was probably the best choice I made, hands down, of all the gear I've purchased this year, 2018 actually, and I would do this again 100 times over. This was a very good bag. I love the way it feels, and I've dropped it, I've taken it to sand, I've had it around dirt, it's been on concrete, it's been everywhere, and it's been one of the best choices I've made by far. Very good bag. So that's about all I have for you today. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. It's been a good year of overnighters. I have some big changes planned for this year, 2019 overnighters, and I'll give you a little glimpse of what I'm planning, okay? These overnighters take a lot of time video editing wise, and you know, in 2018 I got out there and I did these overnighters kind of by the seat of my pants. I didn't really have things like planned out because I was doing them every month, and I was trying to squeeze them in and out between trips at work and stuff like that. So it was kind of they were fun, and I think I did a great job, but the videos didn't get the amount of views or the amount of attention that I was hoping they would get. And for that amount of work that I put into these videos behind the scenes, not only just going out and filming the stuff, but packing the gear, getting out, and then getting home and going through all that footage and doing all the video editing and the uploading, that stuff takes a lot of time. So I've made the decision that in 2019, I am not going to do an overnighter every month. However, I will establish a playlist. The playlist will be called 2019 Overnighters, and the very minimum that I'm going to do is going to be 4 videos. There's going to be a spring, a summer, an autumn or fall, and a winter video. In those videos, I have big objectives. Okay, I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking. I'm not going to be doing like freeze-dried food or something like that. I'm actually going to be cooking real food, and I'm going to be still shooting for that goal of getting that GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition. I've got a PayPal account. You can find it on my main page. I'll put a link down below in the description. Better footage. So that's the big thing for 2019. Now that doesn't mean that you're only going to get 4 videos. If Miss Bella and I go on a camping trip and the cameras are brought along, of course I'll upload that video and I'll share it on the 2019 Overnighters playlist. If the girls and I go out and there's cameras, you know, and we do a little camping trip or something. So, but what I'm saying is the bare minimum is going to be 4 videos. They're going to be, I'm really planning to raise the bar on these videos. So I hope that you guys show me the support that corresponds to the amount of work that I put into these videos. So I also, at the end of this video here, I want to say thank you guys again for joining me today. Thank you guys for supporting me throughout the year on my 2018 Overnighters. If you haven't seen that playlist or those Overnighters, please go over there and show me some support. Leave a comment. You know, watch the videos. It helps me. If you want to help me out by getting my camera, please donate some cash. It'll help me out, and ultimately you guys are going to get better video quality in your overnighters coming up this year. So with all that being said, again folks, thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Later.